Guarda che come le guida. No, però gli hai fatto fare l'inversione.
Un momento più italiano.
Guarda come sta.
See, he's like,
Sì, perché le vedo in me.
he's like, no, you will wait right now. Guarda,
No, devono attraversare.
Aspetta. Sì.
Aspettare che non tornano.
Wow. Guarda l'altro.
Arrivano i rinforzi.
Ah, sì, dai. Che bello. No, un momento più italiano non esiste. Che questo.
Guarda. Lui come ci tiene a bada, hai visto?
Ok, grazie, ciao.
Grazie Franco, fammi andare.
Grazie. Ciao.
Hi everybody, and welcome to A Case of the Jills. Today is going to be part 2 of a series where I've been talking about athletic identity. And if you didn't catch the last video about it, I'm going to leave the link below so that you can have a look. Let's remember that athletic identity is the degree to which a person attaches their self-worth and success to presenting themselves as an athlete and participating in a sport. Today, we're going to be talking about athletic identity and the concept of foreclosure. So what does it mean when a person identifies with themselves as an athlete before anything else? It can mean a couple of things. First of all, people will do almost anything to continue to participate in their sport so they can continue to see themselves as an athlete. Sometimes they'll do anything, possibly to their own detriment, to continue to participate. The second thing that can happen is that when they are forced to stop, they can suffer things like psychological distress, depression, moodiness, pessimism, confusion about who they are, what they want to be in life, and what they want next. They can really struggle with goal setting now that it seems that athletic goals are not a possibility. This is what we call foreclosure. This is what happens when you literally feel closed off from having options. It can also mean feeling kind of trapped. There's been quite a lot of studies on this topic, believe it or not, and most of the subjects of these studies have been collegiate athletes. Makes sense, right? Most studies are done on college campuses. A lot of studies also have been done on what we would consider elite athletes or professional athletes. These are people that we traditionally think of as embodying all of those aspects of an athletic personality. We see them as dedicated, sacrificing, committed. We see that they spend a lot of their time, energy, money, mental space, physical space on performing and training for that sport. But find me a triathlete, an ultra runner, an endurance athlete, a bodybuilder, a bikini competitor on prep who doesn't fit that profile. In fact, I happen to believe that when you choose to participate in a sport at a high level, at a high investment level as an adult, it can be really hard to walk away from. Perhaps just as hard as if you had always grown up doing that sport. As an adult, your reasons for participating are intrinsic. You are probably motivated by your own inner feelings at that point, not by your school or what your parents hope for you. You're probably investing a lot of time and probably a lot of money. The investment can be huge, and this is where we get into trouble. For many of you watching this channel right now, you have to turn away from your sport or certainly downgrade the volume because you've gotten to a point where you are fearful of whether or not you're developing overreaching, overtraining syndrome, or perhaps you already have found that you've lost your period, you have amenorrhea, or perhaps another type of symptom that is making you think that you're training too hard. You may be struggling with feeling too aligned with that athletic identity and you're not sure what to do. Studies show that the way to transition out of this is to keep a positive attitude. Yeah, Jill, whatever. I know this sounds like a pile of Hallmark Channel crap. In fact, this is that unicorn dust BS that I hate so much. Be positive, but you have to trust me because I have some serious data to back up what I'm saying. I want to talk to you about something called dispositional optimism. Dispositional optimism is an attitude and an expectation that positive things will happen. First of all, in order for this to work, you have to realize that athletic identity foreclosure is a legitimate issue. You're not being a baby, a whiner, or a pain in the ass. Discussion on this topic, which you can find in peer-reviewed journals all over the internet, likens athletic identity foreclosure to things like death and dying. Some people propose an understanding of the stages of grief in order to get through this. Showing yourself some compassion can be the first step to opening the door to optimism. So if you have this attitude and expectation that positive things will happen, then your actions end up following that expectation. So in studies, They find that people who approach situations with optimism actually get better results. They have better coping skills, they're better at planning, they have bigger and better, stronger friendship networks, better self-esteem, they adjust better to changes, and report higher life satisfaction. In sum, optimists come out of difficult situations with fewer problems than pessimists do. Well, duh. But wait a minute, think about what I just said. Everyone has difficulties. That is not a choice. But optimists do better with difficulties. That is a choice. You can choose to see things from an optimistic viewpoint and actually change the outcome for yourself. There are quite a few studies that talk about the different ways that positivity actually increases health. Not just mental health, physiological health. In fact, one of my favorite studies talks about the fact that people who learn to be optimistic by writing in a journal actually have fewer visits to a health center on campus every year. So if you're like me, you're asking yourself, how do I cultivate more of this dispositional optimism stuff? Well, there's 3 well-documented ways to increase the amount of dispositional optimism you have in your life. The first is through meditation. You've heard me talk about meditation a million times before, but there's really great data by Barbara Fredrickson, which I will link below, that talks about the fact that meditation helps you build personal resources. That means you're actually building structures within yourself to make yourself more resilient to changes and better able to confront anything that comes your way. It can build self-esteem and increase life satisfaction. A second way is through journaling. Journaling has been found to make you feel more effective about your life and to build more autonomy. This makes you feel that you're in charge of your destiny and that you're not at the whims of the universe. It makes you feel like you have the control. Journaling can also improve attention and problem-solving skills. It can also improve academic performance. Please get me a journal right now. And finally, the third one on the list is my favorite. In order to increase your dispositional optimism, play. I don't mean play in a theater. I don't mean play a video game. I mean actual play. Carving out time to have fun with friends or family, or even your pet, has been shown to have an extremely positive effect. The idea of being silly making you physically healthier is a pretty good one. I don't know about you, but I could use a little extra silly in my day. But if you're like me, you're the quintessential questioning athlete, you're gonna ask the question, well, okay, you want me to meditate and journal and you want me to play, but like, what does that look like? What do I journal about? How do I add play into my life? What happens if I just can't make time for meditation? These are really great questions. And part of the research I'm doing right now is to understand exactly what types of methods are going to be best to bring about real lasting change. So in the next video, we're going to talk about the aspects of meditation, journaling, and play that you can weave into your life to help you navigate this difficult moment. I know you want details, and I'm going to give them to you. In the meantime, a quick update for those of you who have asked me questions about my hip. Well, for those of you who follow me, you know that I have a labral tear in my right hip. The orthopedic surgeon that I saw back in the States set me up with a whole bunch of PT exercises, but did not recommend surgery. So, how have I been doing? Well, not so bad. I've been doing my exercises or different versions of the exercises just about every day. I also spent a lot of time with my new buddy, the foam roller. I find that I definitely have improved in things like range of motion, and sleeping is a lot more comfortable. I definitely have not tried to run at this point. I've been doing a lot of hiking around the hills here, and I've been doing a lot of walking. Some days, if I don't get on the foam roller and I don't do my exercises, my hip is cranky. So I really feel like consistency is the best way to go so far. If anyone has any questions about some of the exercises that I'm doing or want to know more details about the hip stuff, you can email me at caseofthejills@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to chat with you about that stuff there. I want to say thank you to all of you who follow me on Instagram that helped me finally, after 2 years, get up to 1,000 followers. It really means that the people who follow me are people who really want to, and that feels really special, so thank you so much. You can also find me on Facebook, and you can check out the website at caseofthejills.com. Don't forget that you can also purchase the ebook there that will answer 50 of your most burning questions about overtraining syndrome and hypothalamic amenorrhea. I hope wherever you are, you're having a great day, and I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching.